Hello and welcome to Starting Points, where one thing leads to another. I don't really have a lead in to this. It's just that in looking at the ocean and one aspect that man has done was to try to make it safe for ships by having lighthouses going back 2,000 plus years. So I wanted to just shine a little light on lighthouses because I've got some nonfiction and some fiction that I like to share with you. This is called Who Sees the Lighthouse? It's by Anne Farrington and Giles LaRoche. And it's, well, the artwork that Giles does is amazing. Everything he cuts out and then glues down to make his picture. And must be terribly time consuming, and he must be a very patient person. So it's well, of course, there's seagulls around the coast, and the back of the book lists a lot of names. Well, these are the names of where one can find lighthouses. The front of the book has a list of names as well, a different list, and it says east. That's starts with Alabama, a few, Connecticut, quite a few, Delaware, Florida, lots, Georgia, a few, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, a lot. Who had a lot? Maine had a lot here. Mississippi, Biloxi's its only one. New Hampshire had 3. New Jersey, New York, well, lots, etc. North Carolina, Rhode Island. So this book is focused on places in the United States and had a lot of places that he could have focused on, it sounds like to me. And what's great about it is to sit and read the names of these. Whaleback, Wings Neck, Woods End. I'm just looking at random. Statue of Liberty. Oh yes. And so the same in the back. Carries on through Virginia. West, Alaska, California, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington State, Great Lakes, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan. Look at all the ones in Michigan. Holy smokes. So Minnesota, Ohio, Pennsylvania too, and Wisconsin. Loads of them. Well, that was eye-opening to me to realize how many were built at a certain period of time. This is a book by Gail Gibbons. It's called Beacons of Light, Lighthouses. And I really like her work. She does her own artwork. Lots of details and information. There's actually a good picture of 5 variety the variety of designs, or six, with this is the Buzzards Bay offshore light station, Massachusetts, radio beacon antenna. Well, warning light for aircraft. So there's just a lot of information about the development over time of the lighthouse, looking at the United States. And this page is in Maine, and the methods they use to light the light. But I stopped at it because of puffins, and next time I want to look at puffins, and maybe seagulls will come into things too at some point here. Jigsaw puzzle. The reason I'm showing it to you is that this is about the same size as a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and I would have all kinds of colored paper and colored construction paper. There's a little different feel to it than smooth colored paper that students could cut up and use to make a lighthouse. Well, we'd already studied and looked at them, and they knew there was a lot of variety there, and they created rocks and fields and maybe a little lobster there, and this, and maybe chickens, or so it was, and I didn't suggest to them, but I could have, had I thought of it, that they could turn it into a jigsaw puzzle. Take that vinyl paper they have, glue it to stiffer, like a shirt cardboard, not corrugated, but just, and then using an X-Acto knife, cut out to make pieces. Occurs to me as a possible, one thing leads to another extension. Once we went to visit Fiskard Lighthouse. It's maybe a 30-minute drive from our school to where that lighthouse is. And here's a clipping of it with rocks. This is a plane coming in to load up on water for firefighting. So that was some time ago. I'm sure that's still the case, though. This is called The Lighthouse. It's by Dudley Whitney. It's Canadian. And I've got something marked in here. Let's see what that is. Some amazing rock outcroppings, and there's a little place with several buildings, but obviously wasn't one I'd marked. So let's see what this one is. Oh, this is just showing maps of ones in Newfoundland, the entrance to the St. Lawrence River, around places in Cape Breton and PEI, Nova Scotia, and down into Maine. And there's another map for down the rest of the coast. A neat book. This book is more worldwide. Its title is The Dramatic Beauty of Lighthouses from Ancient Greece to the Present Day. And it's by Peter Williams. And there's a lighthouse shining there. And here's another picture at the back. And I had one picture. This is in France, Brittany in France, and the lighthouse is built out on some low rocky area, but when there's a storm and the waves come rolling in and the waves hit that, I just thought it was a pretty dramatic picture. I think I'd be, whoa, you know, boom. But anyway, that's just me. Fiction. Well, there's some wonderful fiction, not a lot, but what there is good. So Rhonda and David Armitage put these books out when my children, some of them were young, and we all got it. There was a hoot. We really enjoyed them. This is called The Lighthouse Keeper's Lunch. He's rigged up a system to get the lunch down from the land to the lighthouse. Seagulls are a problem, though. And it's problem solving. There's a lot of problem solving. There's a lot of, I mean, the pictures are detailed, and there's a fair bit of conversation going on. And I just, they liked it, I liked it. The Lightkeeper's Catastrophe. And in this one, there's again, they're trying problem solving. Just, it's quite something. And there are, he's lost the key. And so I had a bunch of old keys that you just collect as you get older, and some of them were really sort of old, and I brought them in, enough for one, you know, more than enough for everybody to take one and draw it, put it back, get another, and exchange was going on. And you know, some of them drew, you know, filled the page with 20 different keys and shaded it in, and you know, it was a nice exercise of observation, I thought. The Lighthouse Keeper's Rescue. Now, I didn't know if these books were still in print. They came out, well, nearly 40, 30, more than 35 years ago, some of them. Well, they've done a dozen or more. So it's nice that they keep coming up with stories that they can do. They're very, very warm stories. This is the Little Red Lighthouse and the Great Gray Bridge. That's the George Washington Bridge. This lighthouse was built in 1921. And when the lighthouse was built in 1932, 11 years later, they closed the Little Red Lighthouse up. But it's got more history involved with it. And the pictures by Lynn Ward are really nice. And Hildegard Van Swift wrote the story based on a true lighthouse. This book I really, really like. It's by Elizabeth Coatsworth. She wrote a lot of books and poetry, and her husband wrote as well. He was a naturalist. And this is illustrated by Simeon Shimen. And this young fellow here is going to spend a bunch of the summer at the lighthouse, and he's not sure when he gets there that there'll be anything for him to do. There are puffins, and there are terns. I guess if I showed it this way, you could see even more puffins and terns. Both of them nest on that island, and they also get a goat. And one thing leads to another, and he has a wonderful, wonderful summer, taking advantage of what it is there that might be of interest. So is there something I was going to show you in here? I don't think so, but you can see here, maybe I will show both the terns and the puffins build down either in the soil or in a cavity in the rocks, like the terns do. And here's the puffin that's returned with, and another one that's returned with food for their young. And more about that in the next video. Well, thanks for joining me, and bye for now.